everyone, welcome to Things Lucy Reads. I'm Luce and I decided that I would do a reading vlog because why not? I'm gonna have to support my arm on something. I always make this mistake and then I hate myself for it later. There we go. I'm gonna put my arm on BB-8, who's a very handy assistant. As part of Prime Day in July, Amazon had this promotion going that was 3 months of Kindle Unlimited, either for free or it cost 99 cents. It was one of the two. Whatever it was, I got it. I've had Kindle Unlimited before and I really like it, but I just sometimes can't justify, I know it's only $14 a month, but sometimes I can't justify that $14 a month and I need to use it for other things. So for a while that's been the case, but for 3 months, either for cheap or for free, I definitely snapped that up. And I immediately borrowed the absolute maximum of books that I could get on Kindle Unlimited, which is 10, and did not read very many of them at all. I did read the entirety of the first series of Vox Machina Origins, which is 6 issues. That was in August. No, it was in July. So there's that. And then I decided that I should at least make an attempt to read the ones that I had left over before this trial ends and I lose access to them. I'm going to read Sandman Volume 2, which is called The Doll's House, and Venom Rex by Donny Cates. It's Venom Volume 1 Rex by Donny Cates. It's one of the ones that uses neutral pronouns for Venom, the symbiote. And then I'm going to talk about them. I've read the first part of Sandman Volume 2 and I just really fucking wish that people would learn what a hymen is and what it's there for and what it does. To be honest with you, I don't know what it's there for, but I know what it's not there for. And what it's not there for is to protect your virginity. It's not a barrier across your vaginal canal that is broken the first time you have sex. If that was the case, you would never be able to get a tampon up there. You would never be able to lose your menstrual blood out of there because there would be something in the way. It's not at all what society has romanticized it as. And I know that this book is now 20 years old and it was written entirely by men, but can we just please, in the future, do away with this fucking disgusting and misleading and shameful myth of the hymen? It's like that line from The Princess Bride. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. And in this case, I know that a hymen is not what male writers apparently think a hymen is. And can we please just not? And I'm reading more of the Sandman, and something that I could really do without is the Corinthian preying on rent boys. Male sex workers is probably a better term to use, I apologize. I like the parts of this story that's dream kind of solving mysteries and putting everything right, but it's the character details like this that I don't enjoy. I don't think I will be continuing with this series. I'm reading it 10 years too late to really like want to be emotionally involved in this. It's 2019. I'm a queer person and I don't want to have to sit through being smacked in the face with all of this just to get at the parts of the story that I like. So unfortunately, I don't think Sandman is for me. Yeah, I'm going to finish this volume and close it out and just enjoy all of the derivative works of Sandman and appreciate that this is what inspired them, but that I don't need to experience it for myself. So I just finished reading the Venom comic that I had on Kindle Unlimited, which is called Rex, and it's by Donny Cates. It's the current run of Venom. And it was everything that I ever wanted out of a Venom comic. I just got it because it was the only one on Kindle Unlimited and thought I'd give it a shot, and it is some good shit. Not only was it like it was like the movie in that Venom wasn't a supervillain, but it was like Eddie Brock trying to be a good guy trying to, you know, help out the universe. And Miles Morales was in it, so that was Spider-Man, but it was Miles Morales. And Thor was mentioned. This issue and series as a whole ties into the Thor God of Thunder series, which is, I think, by Jason Aaron. He seems to be doing all of the Thors recently. But the thing that really, really made me love this volume was that Venom told Eddie that they love him. Literally, what else do you need? It was amazing. Definitely recommend it if you want to read Venom comics but you don't know where to start, but you really like the movie and you want something that's gonna be like that. Yes. It was a much better experience than Sandman Volume 2, which I did finish last night. I gave it 2 stars. I wrote a bit of a review on Goodreads about how I felt about it. I will link it down below. Look, I don't enjoy it. I like Morpheus, but I just don't want to deal with the casual homophobia and fatphobia and misogyny, and just, it really reads like something that was written 20 years ago, and honestly like something that should have stayed 20 years in the past. So yeah, not a fan of Sandman. I'm a fan of Venom though, so swings and roundabouts. Good morning, it is now Saturday and I haven't read any more of my Kindle Unlimited books, but I have started Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by Caitlin Doughty, which I have from my library. I realised that I have to read this before I read anything else because the app that I'm using for this book only gives you a loan period of 14 days, unlike BorrowBox, which is my library's other one, which gives you like 65 days, which is weird, to be honest. Anyway, I'm probably going to smash the rest of Smoke Gets in Your Eyes out today because I don't have to go to work, and I have already cooked breakfast and swept the kitchen, the bathroom, the back veranda, our toilet and our laundry, which are both outside, free from all the dust. Because we had a gigantic dust storm yesterday and everything was really dirty. Like, if you want to know quite how dirty things were, this is my windowsill. Hang on, wow. This is my windowsill. My window was closed yesterday during the storm, and this is still what made its way inside, so you can imagine how dirty things that were actually outside were. So that's my life at the moment, but everything is swept and it's entirely enough work for one day, I think. So 2 things. I'm still terrible at vlogs, which we are not surprised about, and this is what's going on with my hair at the moment. It's mostly gone. I misunderstood how my clippers worked. It wasn't meant to be this short, but I was like, oh, if I leave the guard on, it'll be too long. I'll just set the dial and take the guard off. And that's not a number 2 shave. That's a skinhead is what you're getting there. Whatever, it's nice and cool. We're going into summer. I'm well prepared. I'm probably not gonna have to get my head shaved again until like Christmas. So it's fine. It's fine. I have not been reading very much during the week. I read the Venom comic, and then that tied into a Thor comic, which I also borrowed from Kindle Unlimited. I was going to read mainline Smoke Gets in Your Eyes this week, but then I ended up just being really tired all the time, so I didn't read very much. So I've reborrowed that from the library, which means I now have until the 28th of September to read it. So I'm going to keep working on that throughout the week. I'm about halfway through. It's really good, so it shouldn't take me too much longer to finish that off. So the next part of this vlog is going to be me setting up a couple of shots for bookstagram. I usually don't go into like as much effort as these next 2 photos are going to take to set up, but every now and then I do like to make an effort and put in the time to get a really good shot. So that's what we're going to do. But actually I'm lying because like I've already done it. I just didn't film an intro part for it. So I did them an hour ago, but you haven't seen them yet. So here they are. Sunday night. I've read like absolutely nothing all weekend except for maybe 25% of Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, which is, no, actually I don't think I have read that much this weekend. I think I've read like 10 or 15%, which is not to be sniffed at, but it's not very much either. I will see you when I've read something. I can't with this facial expression. It's supposed to be like a big emotional moment, someone's died, and Thor looks like this. I have finished reading Thor God of Thunder Volume 1 by Jason Aaron. This one was also really, really good. It was like the central villain from Rex was also in this one, but it was like Thor versus this guy, and it was like Thor at different stages of his life. There was a bit of time travel, and I just really enjoy that the Thor comics are all like Thor solves a mystery and goes on a journey of self-discovery at the same time. Like, it's so exactly my jam, and I just love it. I gave it 4 stars. I have 80 pages left of Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, so I'm probably going to finish that tonight. I was supposed to go to D&D, but then our DM cancelled because he has to get his beauty sleep. So I now only have Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and then the 5 Kindle Unlimited books left to go. So it's, I don't even know, Tuesday the 24th. It's been a few days since my last update. I finished Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. Absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was just really like enlightening and thought-provoking, and I feel like I have a better understanding of the world now that I've read it. It's really great. I recommend it to everyone. I don't know how different the death industry is in Australia than in America, where Caitlin Doughty was working, but yeah, it's been really interesting. And it's actually kind of funny because now there's some scandal in the news about dead people being mistreated by funeral homes and all of this, and oh my god, they transport 5 corpses in one van. Like, it's, yeah, it's called carpooling. Like, anyway, it was really, really good. Really liked it. My arm is sore. I never learn. I also read the first 2 volumes of The Prince in His Dark Days by, I want to say Hiko Yamanaka? Hold on. Oh, I'm gonna put my shoulder out. But yeah, Hiko Yamanaka, I was right. This is a series about, okay, so it's kind of like a cross between The Prince and the Pauper and Ouran High School Host Club. There's this girl who's really poor. Her father is a drunk. She resorts pretty much to sex work in order to get money, like skeevy modeling is what she's doing at the start of the series. She comes across these guys, and it's like this really rich guy and his 2 like best friends slash handlers, and then you know, he's taken to their home because the rich guy wants to try on her school uniform, and then goes back home again. And then a few days later they come for her because the rich guy has disappeared and they need someone to be a body double, and she looks exactly like him. So she has to be trained to basically pretend to be this guy until it's his birthday and it's his coming of age ceremony, and the fate of the company is safe, essentially, because he's going to inherit his dad's company when he turns 18, I think. And then you also have the story of what's happening with him, like where he's gone and all of this. And I read the first volume and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then I read the second one and I absolutely just really felt it in my soul. So yeah, I gave them both 4 out of 5 stars. And then I listened to the audiobook of Nimona because I had some things I had to do and I didn't want to just be listening to music. I wanted to like read a book, and the Nimona audiobook is just less than 3 hours. So I listened to that and it was really funny. I think that it's the kind of audiobook you need to have read the book first for, because there were certain things like I knew what those panels looked like, so that's why the jokes landed, and I'm not sure how well the jokes would land if you didn't also have the visual of the graphic novel. But it was a fun time and I gave it 5 stars. Would listen again. I can't remember if I've talked about Midday Moon in any of these clips yet. It was one of the other books I had from Kindle Unlimited. It's about this guy who works in this hotel that serves people from the spirit world, including like the king of the spirit world, who you find out is actually like a human who has been sacrificed to that world in order to rule it. And they lose all memory of their time as a human, and they have to breathe a special incense because they can no longer breathe the air here in the mortal realm. And then there was a little bit of a mystery thing happening between the king of the spirits and one of the men that worked at the hotel. I borrowed it from Kindle Unlimited because it reminded me a lot of Spirited Away, just this thing kind of on the cusp of the mortal world and the spirit world that serves spirits, and a human gets like caught up in it. And I ended up really loving it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It's probably not perfect. It could have benefited from a little bit more room to grow, a little extra room for characterization and plot development, but it was everything that I love in a romance story. So like, objectively, I recognize that it, you know, it's not as good as it could have been, but it was everything that I love, so I love it. Yeah, and I think that I will buy a copy of that. I can't get a paper copy, unfortunately, but I will buy the ebook copy, I think. So yeah, currently I'm reading The Solstice Prince by S.L. Himes, which is just a short little winter-themed novella. I'm loving the heck out of this one too. Like, okay, so my OTP of all OTPs is Elrond and Gil-galad from the Silmarillion, and then The Solstice Prince is about this guy who's been mistreated, and he's like a student healer, but he's got this like amazing gift, and he falls in love with the Prince of the Realm, and I'm just like, it couldn't be a better allegory for that Silmarillion pairing if it tried. And so far it's just reading exactly like your bog standard angst, hurt, comfort fic, but I'm so down for that. Like, I'm so into it and I'm really loving it. But like, I have like 8 days left, so I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to be able to get through all of these. Some of them I am either going to have to just buy or return unread. So, decisions will have to be made there. I've had a pretty good reading month though, all things considered. That's like 6, 7, I've read 9 books so far, and considering I only read 2 last month, this is a big improvement, and I've pulled my Goodreads goal back up to on track, so that's a very good thing as well.